a nigga really sitting up there still being lame as hell. And then Kenya ass. Like, I'm really doing this just based off the fact, cause like I don't like how Holmes was really like how they like trying to play Jonay out like that. Like that shit just ain't really cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he did the same shit to King, and I wasn't going for that either. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga really like a sucker. Like for real, for real. Bad business, like don't know how to do business, don't know what he doing, don't don't know how to talk to a motherfucker, none of that shit, man. Like real deal, just sucker. So the nigga, let me tell you, Huncho, nigga approached me to do a pod. I was like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever. Let me think about it. I didn't even really think about it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it, whatever. Okay, cool. I asked him who else gonna be. He was like, well, I talked to Jonay. She don't really want to, you know what I'm saying, be on camera or nothing like that, but she gonna be a producer. I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, we need a third. I suggest Kenya to be a third. That nigga didn't suggest Kenya to be nothing. Kenya wasn't even a thought. You know what I mean? So cool. So a couple weeks ago, about like a month ago, we start like planning to do run throughs. Now, after the nigga asked me to do the pod, I'm expecting like to get this shit rolling. So like 3 weeks go by, I ain't hear no updates. I ain't hearing nothing like when we gonna start rehearsing or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? All this extra shit. Nigga was like, yeah, I want this to be done. I need everybody to get mics and headphones. I was like, okay, cool. You niggas get a mic and a headphone and shit like that. You know what I mean? So niggas is putting in money to be a part of this shit already. So nigga get the mic headphone. I had a vacation to go hit, so I really couldn't start as soon. But he was like, cool, we can launch this bitch end of September. I was like, bet. The nigga ain't got no scheduling. Like all of the ideas that y'all were seeing came from Jonay. All of the ideas y'all can't like the nigga was like trying to finesse. Like, oh yeah, I want y'all to be in spaces 6 days a week and do a pod. I'm like, well, nigga, no, because I don't even operate like that. Like, y'all know a nigga like me, nigga, I take a break from this bitch every now and then. Like, I ain't even gonna be talking like that. We doing a run, we filming on Wednesday, so like for a couple of weeks, we like, okay, we're gonna do these practice ones on Wednesday. So I missed the first one because after the hours, I was tired, I was beat. I guess they have a conversation. When I mean they, I mean Rashad, Kenya, and Jonay. It don't go good. Cause by the time I wake up, it's like, nah. Nigga called me, it was like, hey man, talking about the conversation. I'm just hearing him out like, cause he asking me for like advice. I'm trying to get it to him based off what he's saying. And in that conversation, he trying to finesse them for real, for real. And I wasn't going for it. You know what I mean? So I'm telling him like, hey bro, this your shit. You need to be trying to run this shit like this your shit. You smell me? Or you need to come up off of it. Meaning, nigga, you need to, if you want me to work, I put in the work, but you need to give me 50%. I'm a businessman. I do business every day. And you want to come off of it. Right? So in the conversation between me and him, without them, he telling me Kenya bring up like, yeah, she want to get paid for being in spaces every day. She just want a little minimum wage, like the state of Georgia minimum wage, and she gonna show up and be in spaces every day. I'm like, shit, yeah, you asking her, you ask her. She the main one showing up. She there the whole time. She's available the whole time. Woo-doo. I'm like, shit, that's fair. The nigga tell me, I mean, I could pay you, but like $15 a month ain't really no incentive for you to really do it for the quality of work. So in my mind, I'm like, fuck nigga, you trying to do business. If you ain't willing to pay that girl $15, I'm supposed to trust that you supposed to want to pay us potential hundreds, potential thousands of dollars. Okay, cool.
$15 a month is nuts.
But that's just the number he threw out. You feel what I'm saying? That's just the number he threw out. It was like he was like, I pay it, but like it really ain't gonna. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. Okay, so cool. So then the next week we all get on the Zoom call. The conversation that they had come back up because I guess now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty much telling this nigga like, nah. In that same conversation, I tell him, I say, hey, bro, if you don't get your motherfucking business together, I won't be a part of this shit. You got a week. Straight like that. Can you tell you I ain't lying? Jonay will tell you I ain't lying. Straight up. If you don't get your shit together, I won't be a part of this shit. He trying to do like horrible manipulation, like, oh, well, this, that, and the third. Because he trying to say he expect us to show up to spaces every day. Like talking out the side of his neck. You know what I'm saying? You know how a nigga be talking like he trying to say something, but ain't really got the nuts to say what he want to say. Like nigga really saying, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much in so many words, like, yeah, I expect y'all to show up because y'all are part of the pod. So I expect y'all to show up in spaces and be a part of the pod. I tell that nigga that ain't in my contract. You approach me to do a job. Okay, you want me to do more work for said job? You need to come up off of it. That's how I'm rocking. I do more work, but I need 50%. because you asking me for 50% of work. He didn't want to hear it. So now I'm on the little Zoom thing with them, and we finally come to the conclusion because I'm giving so much pushback that hey, we ain't got to show up to spaces every day. Cause I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to commit to that anyway. Like I would be a whole ass nigga trying to tell you, convince you that I'm able to do something, and then fall short of like being able to do that. Okay, cool. Now them, they still got they gripe with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a spectator because like from what they saying, he not keeping the same energy with me in front of him that he was keeping with them. And I can see it because like he backtracking on shit that he's saying. He backtracking so much, and he backtracking on shit that he told me privately. I guess he asked them while I wasn't there, like, what do y'all think grinding is or motivation is or some dumbass shit to try to trick them to show up the spaces to promote more and do shit more. It's like, nigga, you want to be an owner of this shit, you need to be an owner. Not just say you an owner, but you need to act like you a motherfucking owner. That's when Kenya say, I'm so glad Ken on this phone call because I was feeling the same way. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Because I already knew how he was trying to play Kenya. Cause on the back end, he like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Do this. He want a nigga to do some more shit. I wasn't going for it. I said, man, I ain't doing all that. But you know who did? Kenya. Not then all of a sudden, Kenya co-hosting. He got Kenya transitioning topics and shit like that. It's like, no, nigga. The nigga so motherfucking like the nigga was trying to play me and Kenya like we needed good chemistry. Nigga, me and Kenya, I had to tell the nigga me and Kenya been arguing for 4.5 years straight. Our chemistry is there, nigga. You the odd man out. Me and Kia been arguing for 4 years straight. Talking about, I don't want no personal jabs. I don't want this, that, and the third. Nigga, you know how many times me and Kia took personal jabs? We come back the next day or a couple days later in the same space like ain't nothing happened. We not the one that need to get comfortable here. I DM'd him and said, hey, you should get Kenya. You know what he said? Joe Nay just told me the same thing. When it comes to the contract I got wouldn't hold up in no court and in nowhere in no state. That bitch wouldn't even hold up in the Philippines. That contract so ass. You ain't got shit, but want to talk to me like you running something. But you ain't doing nothing. You over there trying to do spaces every motherfucking day, trying to get your space popping, which is cool. You good at that. But this is a different product. This business and marketing 101. You got two different products, nigga. You need to handle it accordingly. So boom, I was already done with this shit, right? I was telling my girl, like, man, I'm really finna be done with this shit. But I recognized that Kenya really needed somebody with a backbone because if she didn't have nobody with a backbone, she'll go for anything. And that's not a knock to her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a testament, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, she really believed in the shit. Like Kenya, like when she first did it, like she came prepared. Like Kenya was the most prepared out of all of us. Like if you look at the clip, I ain't had no light. All I had was background headphones and mic. But like ready to do the part, Kenya was the ready of all of them. Out of all of us. Look at that nigga. Nigga ain't had a haircut since we did the video. Nigga been a month. Go get your motherfucking hair braided. Oh, that's another thing. The motherfucking app, you are owner of a company, right? You investing. This was my other problem. He telling us it's to be aesthetically pleasing, we need to get mics and headphones. Okay, cool. That ain't nothing. $300, nigga. I spend that every day. Okay, cool. Get the mic, get the headphone. I get on the video call. Who ain't got no mic? Who ain't got no headphone? Kenya got a mic. She just don't know how to hook it up. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was another thing. This your shit. You should be telling her how to hook it up. She should know. Nigga didn't tell me. I did it. So then when it comes to the platform Riverside that he using, nigga say, hey, yeah, man, shit, I'm paying $40 for this, but for Jonay to be off screen, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to talk to somebody, which he did. I give him credit. He contacted somebody so way he didn't have to pay the $500 a month. But my thing is, shit, nigga, you should have had all this shit figured out before you even try to put anything together as far as like trying to launch this shit or anything. That's all of that shit happened in 1 week. And you want to know why it happened in 1 week? Cause I'm pressing Jonay like, hey man, when we supposed to start doing this? When we supposed to start doing that? Cause we ain't heard nothing about us doing that, no rehearsal or nothing. Cause a nigga telling me we need to rehearse, but he ain't telling me when we gonna rehearse. I guess him and Jonay get into it. Well, no, not I guess. They do get into it. And I was like, So then he called me to like, not to rectify, but to get more advice. I was like, man, let me call her. So I called her. And she was like, we ain't finna get into this. I'm finna call this nigga with you on the phone. So she called me with him on the phone. They get into it. The nigga start backtracking. Just not making sense. None of the shit he's saying is holding up. Cause the point is, nigga, this is your shit. They get into it because it's 3 clips, right? From the clip that y'all seen with all 3 of us, me, King, and Rashad, it's 2 more clips, right? In the group chat with us, Rashad is saying, hey, I got an app that schedules out for this shit to be posted. Donate say, hey, I got a different idea. Now, if this is your podcast, you the owner, Jonay is your employee. You supposed to tell her, no, I want it done this way. Right? That's Thursday or Wednesday or whatever. Whole weekend go by. I guess he hit Jonay up, talking real snarky. I'll let her tell that side, right? I'm just telling y'all this because all this happened in the same day. Okay, cool. The nigga hit me up like 2 o'clock that Wednesday and was like, you know what I'm saying? Same schedule program, you know what I'm saying? Be ready. We gonna start at 6. I was like, bet. Right? The nigga say, bring a topic. I say, I ain't bringing no topic. Straight like that. Matter of fact, let me read it verbatim. Let me read this shit motherfucking verbatim. The nigga say, oh no, not that one. The nigga say, hey y'all, a quick reminder of our meeting today at 6 p.m. It will be another run through. Please bring at least one topic you would like to talk about. I say, bring a topic. The nigga say, topic for the run through. Something you seen on the news or timeline. I say, I ain't bringing no topic. This fuck nigga send me screenshots of our group chat on Twitter. Right? Then he sent a text and say, understood. This is the expectation, and the expectation has been consistent for a while. This is why Jonay sent the topic list and you and Kenya last week, and why she asked y'all to bring notes. Also, no different from you adding topics in the group chat on Twitter. If this is outside what you want to do, I understand. It's no hard feelings, but this is what I'm looking for. I said, I told you on the phone Monday that this was unnecessary. Then I just started going off. I say, and another thing, nigga, none of this shit you sent is stating a clear expectation of me agreeing to bringing a topic. Me sending you a topic on Twitter a few times is not the same as setting the expectation and me agreeing to it. Nigga sent a whole long ass text message. I respond to it, but that's neither here nor there. Because I've been telling you, I ain't bringing no topic. I've been telling you for 2 weeks at this point, you need to run your shit like it's your shit or come up off of it, nigga. Every time I say come up off of it, he say, what you mean, 50%? Yeah, you want me to bring topics, you want me to show up, you want me to do more work, I need 50%. This business. You sent the contract my way. Either revise it or allow me to do what's in the contract. Oh, you wanna know what's funny about the topics? The good topics come from Jonay. Cause Rashad said we're gonna use spaces as like a trial, like a test, like so. Jonay sending us topics. This is why I wasn't agreeing to bring the topics because I never had to. Jonay sending us topics, right? Jonay saying, hey, so y'all can have a better, clear talking point. Research the topic that you want to talk about, then you could be able to talk about it in the space. We ain't never had to bring no topic on the run through. The clip that y'all seen with all 3 of us, I didn't bring a topic then, me nor Kenya. Jonay sent me and Kenya a topic list, and we picked.
I thought that was her job as the producer.
That was her job.
It was.
I'm doing this now for the same reason I stuck up for Kenya on them motherfucking meetings and on the phone. Kenya don't know that I was sticking up for her when they went around. Kenya asked him like, "Hey, if you want me to show up the spaces, I at least need to get the minimum wage of Georgia," which I thought I at least need to get the minimum wage of Georgia. That's what he told me. I said, "Shit, that's kind of shit." She ate with that because shit, nigga, you want her to show up for 4 to 4.5, 3.5 hours every motherfucking day, 6 days a week, nigga. She working, and she able to. She the only one staying the whole time on time. Shit, might as well. Then the day I see some shit on the clip today trying to throw Joe down. I couldn't like it. That's another reason why I completely just was like, fuck this. I can't do it because I can't as a man. I can't see you take advantage of other people, especially in no business. Like I can't do that. You trying to get these folks to do all this work, but don't want to come off with it. Fuck that nigga. Me and Kenya ain't even like, we don't even have the best relationship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me and Kenya ain't never really beef, but we done said some shit to each other over the years. We done disagree, but I couldn't sit by and just let a nigga fuck over a motherfucker, especially a woman. Like, if you a nigga, I'd be like, nigga, you should be on your shit a little bit more. But I couldn't rock like that.
This is unfortunately the issue when you got a nigga with ego and wants clout and don't got no money. Because there's a mix of things that I'm about to talk about First off, let me say this. If there's anybody in here that knows what was going on, because I can say this with 1000% confidence, because I have zero reason to lie. And this is why, Kenya, you're gonna catch some of these, because you know for a fact what happened. And I get that you trying to do what's beneficial for you, but if you ain't gonna be a stand-up bitch, can't fuck with it. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to take what you get. Because what I know for a fact is that I have played it completely cool and been very much so P when it came to Rashad and his business. I mean, from people DMing me, asking me what happened, from people saying that they wanted to talk about it in his community space, to people asking me why I'm no longer a mod, why I'm no longer a part of this, why I'm no longer a part of that. Ask anybody, I ain't say shit. The only people that know is my friend circle that I trust, and I did not say a fuck thing to nobody. And the reason why was because I said, this is a black man trying to do some shit, and I'm not going to be messy. I'm not going to step on his shit. I'm not going to do a space and say why I'm not a part of it. I'm not going to do none of that. Because you want to know why? Because Rashad listen, we don't got to get along for him to get to it. I don't gotta be a part of it for him to be successful. And Kenya, you were on the phone and you heard me say that after I cussed the nigga out. So you know I'm telling the truth. I said, no matter what, I don't want to see you fail, bro, just because I'm not a part of it. But herein lies the problem with a nigga that has no talent, is that when you now want to do something, and what you did was you tried to clout chase off me because you knew what my name brought. We can see what my name bringing 120. And what's going on over with you? 40? Yeah. Since me and Tim been gone, 60, 75, 42. Did a space on motherfucking, what night did I do it, Paris? 130. I'm about to start popping my shit because I'm sick of niggas doing weird shit when I keep it P. Let's be very clear. Rashad knew what he was doing by asking me, because me and Rashad was no fucking friends. Anybody that know, Breeze, niggas, Seth, Aaliyah, niggas that know me in real life know. I didn't fuck with Rashad for a while because of some space shit. Rashad was looped up with some niggas that was doing weird shit with me. Let's be very clear. And it's on record. I ain't gonna put no names, but niggas know. Rashad was looped up with niggas that was doing weird shit with me. So I had a problem with Rashad. That nigga that he had an issue, that nigga he was looped up with, moved off to the side. Him and Rashad got into it. I started going to Rashad spaces, being halfway cool. Slowly but surely, Rashad started doing these spaces every fucking day. And let's be very clear. Let me clock the reason why I was saying that I'm Rashad's OG. Rashad, I don't get excited about doing those spaces, nigga. I was doing them before you. Let's be very clear. The podcaster that you said you wish was your bestie, nigga, he say my name on the pod. Never said yours. So trust and believe, I don't need spaces at all. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I was fucking with it. I already had a space show. I already did this shit. That's why you wanted me over there. That's why you asked me. I didn't ask you. I didn't say what's good, what you doing, what's going on. I want to be a part. I didn't offer myself up, nigga. You asked me, right? So let's get to the true tea. And the reason why I'm about to go there is because I need everybody to watch that video, right? I need niggas to watch that video. Because if I'm a producer, why you clipping up my name for what? Why you talking about what's going on behind the scenes for what? Why do you have to mention someone that wasn't even going to be on camera and then try to allude and saying double-minded and two-sided and da-da-da? No, you're the double-minded. And we're going to get into why. Because everything that I say, I will say nothing that I cannot produce a receipt for. I will put the text up because I don't give a fuck. I stand on anything I've ever said. Anything. Now, Rashad hit me up, much like Tin said. So I'm not going to repeat a lot of what Tin said because everything he said was true, but I'm going to just use some of it. So same thing. Hit me up. We have been in spaces. Everybody was in spaces. This at the time, Rick, Paris, everybody was loading in. And it was a vibe. Like, I'm not going to shit on Rashad. I ain't even going to be no hater now that it ain't what it is. Rashad had a space where niggas was in there. Niggas was in spaces. And Dub, don't come up here on no bullshit. I'm not with it today, Dub. So we had that. We had the spaces going. And he hit me about the pod. Exactly what Tin says is exactly what I told Rashad, because we talked about it as a whole. I don't want to do podcasting. I don't know what type of brand it's going to be. I don't know. I have my own shit. Those that know me know that I have couch conversations. I had a playback. I had all that stuff already. It's not that I didn't want to do something with him. I'm like, well, then what I could do producing. Like, I could try my hand out because I fuck with what you got going on. Genuine. Like I said, I was not friends with Rashad, but I had no problems with Rashad. So Kenya, in case you didn't understand, when you want to know if there's an underlying reason, since you want to be funny, there is no underlying reason, because as you were observant of, the reason why I piped up was him also playing with you. Did you forget? Him playing with you with the money is the reason why me and Rashad got into a back and forth. But it's all right, because I don't need much defense, because I know what to stand on, and it's the truth. So we get going, right? Rashad gets going with the pod. Ask 10, ask Kenya. I did mention Kenya. Kenya comes aboard, whatever. Everything's a vibe. It is what it is. Like, I think it's a good, Rashad wants to do spaces to get, and it's, all of these things are fine. There is no issues, no problems, no nothing, right? We get to the business, right? And the business of a pod, if I'm a producer, is to do what? Come up with topics, organize those said topics, everything. So I said, Rashad, we want to do the space. I mean, we want to do the pod. We're not there yet. Let's practice. He wants to practice. I agree with him. He and I are on the same page. I'm the one that said, Rashad, let's start doing the segments. I start giving him pre-production notes. I create the group chat, pretend me, him, and Kenya, and say, let's start involving us and getting pre-production. So I'm bringing the organization, which is, again, a part of what I offer to do. All of these things that I'm about to say, I offer. So some of this shit ain't got nothing to do with Rashad, because what he did do, 10, you was there, he likes to throw what I didn't ask you. Of course you didn't. Users never ask. They just take. So I throw out there, give him the option to do what I'm doing. We start doing it perfectly. Me and Rashad start having conversations. We talking about topics and this and that. And now, so me and him start exchange phone numbers. We start developing how the show will go, right? The problems that Kenya may not be aware of, that Rashad wants to use as the issue between me and him. See, Rashad don't know how to separate. He talks about double-minded. He don't know how to separate, because Rashad was taking interactions that me and him was having on spaces and making it influence our business. He would take, because me and him have a run-in and say something about one another, we go back and forth on a space, and he now impacts what we got going on from a producer-host situation. I know how to separate the two. Just because me and you have a run-in here, it don't mean that it don't track there. But then again, he's a sensitive gentleman. So you sensitive, of course you're going to say that there's an issue behind the scenes. There's no issue behind the scenes. The issue is you be trying to get your ones off and you got an ego issue. And I'll give y'all an example of it. And I already asked this person if I can say it. We can track Rashad's ego issue by when he's going back and forth with one person on the stage, and then he tells us, I'm the only one up here with a Rock Nation distribution deal, as if that means anything, right? He also has shown, because he's doing this shit, because he's in his head, because he has anxiety, because he's dealing with the overthinking, right? Now we dealing with this man, with somebody behind the scenes, and I asked if I can say it, because this ain't no beef, this ain't nothing weird. I asked this person because enough is a fucking enough. I'm about to clock all T. Bray, behind the scenes, was running this nigga's Discord, was helping him with that community space, was helping him before any of us got involved, and decided to take a little one up publicly, no matter what everybody feel about the energy, whatever. Again, it's spaces versus business. Something happened on the space, he boomed the girl. Kicked her out the entire space off something that happened on the stage, and tried to do an ego thing. So it's like, all right, so damn, all right, we don't know how to separate the two. That's kind of fucked up, especially when niggas is doing mad shit for you behind the scenes for free. And I pray that anybody recording, if Rashad, you got one of your little minions over here, please record it and tell them. Don't make me tell people who's doing the real shit behind the scenes, because we know it ain't you.
Tell it all, man. Fuck that nigga.
We know it. Hold on, we know it ain't you. You ain't paying for shit, but Riverside. Okay, so then let's get into it. Let's get into the contract. Let's be very clear. No, I ain't talking about his family business. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the business here. I would never, I ain't gonna cross no lines there, because I don't know his personal life. I'm talking about with this. He got mad people doing him favors. And he's leaning on the Tyler Perry notion that look out, and I want you to be a part of the brand and the thought process. Yeah, he got mad people doing shit for free. Now, because of that, Rashad told me from the beginning, told 10 from the beginning, told Kenya from the beginning, he wanted to pay us from the $10 tier. He's taking 50, Kenya taking 20, 10 taking 20, I'm taking 10. Now, if I'm taking 10% of a $10 tier that's bust down the way that's bust down, clearly, I don't give a fuck about the money. Clearly. I'm here to support, number one. You giving me something for my time, too. But from the very beginning, there was no conversation, and it ain't in the contract. And be very clear, I'm the one that did the contract. There wouldn't have been a contract if I hadn't done it.
Wait, you did that contract?
And unfortunately, Rashad, because I know that little contract thing eats you up. Now, unfortunately, because you try to be funny and be a weird ass nigga and put something weird on my character in that clip, now I got to tell the people, yeah, I did that contract for you. Remember? You was about to have niggas recorded and using a likeness with no business. You was about to have 10 and Kenya buying shit, and they had nothing in writing. And did you ever send Rashad your contract?
Oh, I sent it to you.
I didn't think so.
I think I
exactly. So my point is, the reality of things is, let's not put the cart before the horse trying to get a moment and trying to create a buzz for that bum ass podcast. So now I got to call it a bum ass podcast. Because a nigga that don't even care enough to get a retwist for damn sure ain't ready to do business right. You was worried about everybody and how their vibes was going. And one of the things you were concerned about was gelling and this and that. When you were the one that had the concerns, you were the one with the confidence issue. And nobody had no problems with that. Let me be very clear. Me and Rashad never fell out over this shit. Me and Rashad would get into it over Rashad. I'm not getting nothing out of it. I'm helping. Everything I'm doing is a help. To 10's point, if there was something that he felt he didn't agree with, then just say, no, we're not doing that. Cool. But you left everything up to a team decision. How the fuck I'm supposed to know that I don't have a say? Everything's a team. From the behind the scenes to the front of the scenes, I want somebody to go somebody right now, I promise you, go over to his community page right now and see who the admin is. I bet you it ain't Rashad. The admin of his own shit ain't even him. The nigga didn't, the name ain't even the one he came up with.
Yep, the podcast name is King.
So let's be very clear. It, from the very beginning, it was
Yep.
a group effort from top to bottom, front to back, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, group effort all the way. Till he feels like he said, this my shit. I understand you want to have an ego war with somebody that's not fighting for your shit. I don't care. I'm just trying to give you game. Like, I'm trying to tell you, get shit in writing. You don't get people on a podcast and you don't have nothing in writing on how you gonna pay them. I said, Rashad, you talking about you gonna pay niggas, when you gonna pay them? When? Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, Rashad, you gonna pay them the next month after the Patreon? How you gonna do this? You don't know. You had no clue. You had no plan. So that's all good. Like, let's not act like this is the thing. So let's get into the two issues, because the two issues is exactly what the problem is. Because what Kenya may have failed to realize before she set herself up is that me and Rashad have only gotten into it twice about this. Anything else had to do with shit on Spaces. And if you a nigga, a grown-ass man that don't know how to differentiate the two and keep your emotions and your ego at bay, then you're doing bad business. It's very simple. And every single time that there was a conversation between me and him, the shit got reconciled. And we were fine and we got to it. Clearly, right? First topic, and I'm gonna go through this and again. 10, you weren't there, but you were in a room when I repeated this conversation and the shit ain't changed. And can you hear too, and you and the listeners, you can tell me where I'm lying. Because I know mine. Tell me where I'm lying. Me, Rashad, and Kenya got on the phone. First off, we were supposed to log into Riverside. The shit wasn't working. That's fine, because tech issues happen. But remember, this is a nigga, he you know, ain't shit going on. It's nobody but him. This is just us, right? It's just me. It's a me thing. Shit wasn't working. So then we jump on a FaceTime. We start talking. Kenya, before we got on that call, said, Jonay, I got questions. I've been talking, which she should. These are all justified things. Kenya said, I got a question, because if he's expecting me to be in Spaces every day, I've been talking, which she should. I'm not shaming Kenya for that. That's what you're supposed to do, is to get somebody outside of what you got going on to give you a second look and give you another opportunity, right? To say, hey, maybe you should ask them about this. She brought it up to my attention to say, maybe we should have a conversation. I said, well, Kenya, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a fair point. I told her, I don't really care about getting paid for Spaces every day, because I'm not going to show up to the shits anyway, because I'm not talent. So you showing up to Spaces every day, 10 showing up to Spaces every day, I think that's fair to ask, since you're getting paid for your time for the podcast. Why not ask? Absolutely. And I'm going to support you in that. Right? We get on the call with Rashad. That is the first thing that comes up. Kenya says what she says. Now, mind you, I'm saying this because I want people to understand that a nigga getting on a podcast using a clip of me trying to frame it like I had some issue with him and there's a character flaw here. No, we going to line it up. Kenya asked that. Rashad don't give no definitive answer. Kenya asked him directly, do you have an expectation for us to be on Spaces every day? And this man said in the beginning, yes, but I understand. So he sort of says he don't really care, but he does have the expectation because he's building, right? I say, well, Rashad, I'm not going to lie to you. The type of field that I work in finance. Q4 is busy. I cannot say that I will be there every day. I can't. I know that that's what you're maybe alluding to, but I can't do it. And that's really going to be from October to almost April. And most people, if that's not no problem, if you didn't have no expectation of us being there every day, the next answer would be, all right, that's it. That ain't no problem. Hey, listen, I get it. People have shit to do. No, his response was some manipulative sideways. And mind you, if you let him tell it, I was just asking because I wanted to understand. No, you were asking because you thought that we were slow enough to go with what you were saying. His response to us talking about our availability was, let me ask you two a question. What are your thoughts about the success of this podcast and dedication? What? And then he begins to go on a conversation. And then he mentions Mike and how Mike was supposed to be a part of this and want to do spaces, and Mike was lazy. Yeah, I'm waking it up. And how Mike is the reason why Mike ain't around is da 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 da. All of it. Yeah, exactly. So then we sitting there like, well, what that got to do with what we saying? We kind of confused. I'm like, yo, Rashad. Now, mind you, am I gonna sit here and say anybody that knows me, my friends know this, people that know me for real know I'm expressive. I'm opinionated. I'm gonna say it. Like, wait, hold up, Rashad. Come on now. Come on. Come on, Rashad. Nah, bro, that don't make no sense. Why are you bringing up Mike? What are you trying to say? And I was not the only one. Even Kenya said it. So much so, he brought, and be very clear, and you can ask Rashad this, and you can ask Kenya, you can ask 10. It's my idea to not have spaces on Wednesdays because the nigga wanted niggas to do spaces on Wednesdays and pod on Wednesdays. The nigga want to do spaces every day
I wasn't
and
going.
still
I
pod.
wasn't going for it.
So to me, I said, Rashad, you should consider modifying your space schedule because you need time for them to get creative. Like, how you want to try and space? So he said, okay, Johnny, that's your idea. Boom. He said, we're gonna do that. He don't have spaces on Wednesdays. That nigga in that conversation said, well, I'm just asking. I'm just trying to figure out because Johnny, it was your idea to not do spaces on Wednesdays, but y'all was in spaces today. What? Because we was in a Rick space instead of a his space. He brought that shit up in conversation. So me and Kenya like, hey, yo, wait, what? So now you're trying to throw us under the bus or seem like you monitoring us. And he's like, oh, I didn't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. Well, how the fuck you know we in spaces? And why are you bringing up what we doing on a day that ain't got shit to do with you? So it's a whole bunch of like these games and trying to G-check and see where we're at and see if we're going to be dedicated enough to go with the flow and be a minion. That's the true tea. That conversation in itself went left, not solely because of him. Of course, I was getting with him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna take full accountability. I was getting with Rashad for sure. But we're not gonna sit here and act like Rashad has not taken on behind the scenes the approach of he's never wrong. He don't understand. All I'm saying is it's very manipulative, right? So then that situation happens, but it's off the backs of Kenya. Because what Kenya says is a fair thing. She is talent. And you expect her to carve out time every single day during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and not get nothing for it other than 20% from that one pod? I think that was fair. So she did that. Me and her had that conversation. Then we all get on Riverside again. That day, that nigga didn't even have the situation and called me on some, oh, Johnny, well, I'm gonna do two things and you gonna be on one phone and we gonna trying to Jimmy rig some shit. Mad ghetto because you don't got the 500. Because you don't got the 5. You was gonna do 2 accounts to put me on the phone over here and be in their ear. And it started becoming like, there was a lot of things. But again, I'm not shooting Rashad down for that. Niggas gotta do what they gotta do. It's at the beginning. I get it. But let's not forget, that $5 tier, he wasn't coming up off that at all. Okay? So we get to the situations where I quit. Now, let's be very clear. The reason I quit is simply because Rashad doesn't do good business. That's it. This like literally me and him getting into it, me and him having a conversation over a situation that happened in spaces, him showing me clips and saying, oh, you have like personal things and you're bringing up personal things that's going to affect us. It's like, cool. Like, I understand that you trying to me, I think you trying to use spaces as a reason for the pod when we haven't even gone through the pod is weird to me. Because the podcast is the business, spaces is for leisure. It don't make no sense. Those two things are not the same. And every conversation I had with Rashad, I said, nigga, you need to learn how to separate. You using spaces as the measure for podding, and podcasting is the thing. Spaces is on Twitter, nigga. So to me, it just didn't make any other sense. So I never had a problem with Rashad other than that. And this is what I will say, because this is really the true thing that stopped it for me. We did our first situation where we did a test recording. So that link that y'all got and y'all saw them clips of 10 with his hot take and Kenya with her hot take, and we did all that shit. There was 3 clips. I hit up Rashad, like 10 said. I said, yo, I got an idea. I'm gonna post these. I'm gonna come up with the caption. Y'all saw it. Most people engaged with it. Whatever. The nigga in our text messages mentioned posting on Saturdays. He said, well, I want you to do it 3 days in a row. The Saturday time frame was missed. Now, mind you, before that, I had already told Rashad, I'm off the spaces. I'm not trying to do none of this shit on weekends. My weekends is not yours, essentially. Like, I don't want to be expected to do nothing on the weekends. But he had an expectation because of something that he had going on of me posting a clip on Saturday. All of this right now, today, and the way he's doing it, me quitting, is because I did not post a clip on Saturday. That week y'all saw them clips and nothing happened on Saturday. He carried that, and instead of him posting it because he wanted it, he waited Saturday, he waited Sunday, and then on Monday morning hit me and was on some, hey, was there something wrong with the clip? I said no. I had intentions of posting it on Monday. Because to me, in my mind, nigga, ain't nobody on Twitter like that on Saturdays. Hit them with it on Monday so they can get excited because you're doing your main space on Monday. You don't even space on Saturdays. But that's neither here nor there. That's not the way he thought, and that's fine, but he didn't correct. He didn't post. What he did was hit me up, and I have the receipts to pull it. I promise you I will post his text messages. The man said to me, not in the direct words, but yeah, we need to make sure we keep our word and make sure we do what we say we're going to do. What, nigga? Hello? Hold up. Because that was said in a text, you expect me to align with it because that's how you want to do it when, again, this is a team. Remember, I told y'all this has been a team thing since the beginning. Nigga, I came up with this. I came up with that. I came up with this. So if I take liberties to do something, now all of a sudden I got to be the person of my word. Nigga, was I not the person of my word when I crafted a contract and gave it to these niggas? Was I not a person of my word when I gave you these topics and gave you a production outline and did this shit every single day for your spaces? I was sitting there sending these shits to Rich. Me and Rashad was doing this every day. And you want to have petty shit off one post that if you saw I didn't do it, why you ain't do it? Exactly. There's no reasons for him. It's ego. It's wanting to have this thing. It's Jonay thinks she running shit over here. I'm going to use it as a moment to show her she ain't running shit. It's like, but there's no need for that. Because if I was running shit, it wouldn't be janky. Let's talk it. If I was running shit, I'd have paid the 500. If I was running shit, I would have made sure that all this shit was together before I had 10 in Kenya buying laptops and buying microphones and buying headsets. If I was running shit, I would be paying the people behind the scenes off that $5 shit. If I was running shit. So this ain't no ego thing for me. I don't care. I was helping. And there's nothing to figure it out. But to me, where he fucked up because I'm done yapping. But to me, where he fucked up is the nigga took a conversation between me and him via text as two adults. And at the end of the conversation I had with him, which was professional, I said, here, Rashad, listen, moving forward, this is what I'm going to do as a producer. This is what I'm not going to do as a producer. That nigga became a chatty patty rant and called 10. For what? Why are you being messy? You talk about all this shit about how we functioning, and you was a messy ass nigga chatty patty and ran to another man and said, well, I just want to know your insight. Jonay, I'm trying to get another point of view. For what? You gonna do the clips. I'm gonna produce. This is something that 10 is not involved in. Why are you calling him? And please believe, I'm not the only one. He done did some weird shit behind the scenes about this shit. Trust me.
Rashad, this is nasty.
No, real quick, just for the solo mic shit, it's the same shit. Like Rashad told me, like, yeah, that nigga solo, like on the, because after they had a little conversation that I wasn't there for on the little FaceTime shit, he called me, and in that conversation, he saying, yeah, solo Mike, he was lazy. I'm like, what? Why you say that, man? He didn't want to do spaces. I was like, nigga, I'm not finna do spaces 6 days a week either. I'm telling him like, nah, Mike kind of right, nigga. You want me to do spaces 6 days a week to promote a podcast when these are two different things to promote? They gotta look different. Nigga told us like, oh, I'm gonna name the podcast the same thing as the space, and I was like, okay, but them two was like, nah, and then King come with the name. You see what I'm saying? It's like the nigga just like this, like he ain't operated for a nigga to scream my like Johnny Gill and them. It showed up was like a we.
So that conversation don't make no sense as a nigga that own this shit. Why the fuck you hitting up? Now, no disrespect to him. I said it. This nigga talent. What you hitting him up for? And I'm the producer and you the host. What does he have to do with this? And this is to no disrespect. That's just the truth. I said, okay, well, 10 calls me. I said, well, listen, I need to get him on the phone. You all right with that? He says yes. I get him Rashad. I said, well, Rashad, what was the point of you calling 10? Well, I wanted to get another opinion. I wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. Tripping on what? Tripping on what? Me and you are having a text conversation. Why are you involving somebody else like a messy broad? That don't even make no sense. Why are you creating this? Why are you trying to involve him? Because what I know the T is, you want somebody on your side. Let's be very real. You don't want a mediator. You want somebody on your side. So then we get on that line. I said, Rashad, there is 1, 2 things. 10, you tell me if I'm lying. You was there. I said, Rashad, now this is where we're at. This is where we're at. It's going to be 1 or 2 things right now. Either you're going to respect the boundary I set in that text or I'm quitting. There's no other things. Like, you cannot force me to have this conversation with you. I'm not doing this. I'm not going back and forth. I feel like you crossed a boundary. I feel like you was doing some weird shit by calling 10 and involving him in something that is not even that big of a deal. It's really you doing too much, being snarky and crass in text messages, of which you saw too, Kenya. And you said yourself that he was snarky and crass, and you said it on that call with all of us on there. The man said to me, well, I'm just trying to communicate. We need to get communication. All right, bro, we good. I'm done. And I quit. I quit silently. I did not throw no shade. I didn't say shit to this nigga. It wasn't until we got into another FaceTime, because Kenya, being a person that is trying to be in the medium, I respect her for doing this. She said, listen, y'all, let's try to figure out what's going
King
on.
was trying to make this shit work. I ain't gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why it's like, Kenya, I ain't trying, you know, you my girl, but girl, the pow you gotta get, because you know for a fucking fact you should not have said you knew that there was some underlying reason. You know why me and Rashad get it. You was there for all of it. And to think that he's gassing you to believe there's something else, there really isn't. I'm just a person that I'm just going to call it like it is. And like I said, and I said that with you on the phone, with 10 on the phone, with him on the phone. Me and you was never friends. But that don't mean I gotta disrespect what you got going on. We don't gotta be friends to do this. But you also doing bad business, and you have poor character. Because what the nigga tried to do on the phone with the four of us is try to throw me on the bus and tell 10, well, Jonay told y'all that we need y'all to bring topics. No, we didn't. That's the point of a producer. So, dude, when you said that, I said Rashad tried to use against 10 and the reason why, let's just clock the T. The reason why 10 left is because what Rashad tried to do, instead of having a conversation with me, he tried to put what I was doing on him and Kenya. Grabbing topics and bringing a topic for the recording.
And I wasn't going because nigga come off of it.
And so he pushed back on him, and we got in that conversation. I didn't even know what they was talking about, because him and 10 was going at it. You ain't say that shit. Now I can't wait to see this next clip, and I'm honestly gonna give you the clout that you're looking for. I know you wanted a little bang before tomorrow. You got this, but the shit gonna dry out, promise. Small self up there with motherfucking 6 years of new growth, sitting there on this pod, dry face, telling somebody about a double-minded what? You should have known. And that's how I know this shit is cloudy, clout demony, very much so. Which is what I said. You are a clout chasing nigga with a character issue. I said it. I don't have no problem with it. My biggest thing is play safe. You are mad and you feeling away. And let me not wake up, because you know what? I'm gonna wake this up, because now I'm tired. Now this I'm gonna say. Because if you him, why you worried about a woman? Especially one that ain't yours. Which was like me, one girl ain't stopping no show. If I was a producer, I'm not no talent. What am I stopping? I'm not stopping nothing. You had the idea. This was your baby. This is your vibe. Da, da, da. You should have paid me dust. Like, who is her? I don't even know her. Oh, salute to everybody. Thoughts and prayers.
I knew that nigga.
So you talking about impressions, and you trying to do this. Yeah, you trying to scheme, and this is a scheme that ties that up to come to me with the bullshit. You trying to do that, and you told us you only had 2 subscribers for the $10 tier. That's what you told me. Yeah. And you wanna know how I know, Huncho? Because the day that I quit, I said, yeah, nigga, where's my look? It's been a month since you said you had that subscriber. Where's my coin? Where's my 20%?
Now what you gonna do with $2? I don't give a
man. Go get a coffee.
See, Huncho, that's the same shit he tried to play.
It's the principle
about this shit, nigga. You hired me to do a job. I don't give a fuck if it's 50 cents. I want my 50 cents. If that's the case, if you don't want to pay me, nigga, don't. If you didn't want to pay me, you shouldn't have never said you gonna get paid. His angle for Kenya, which is why I had to go to the bat for Kenya, was I expect more. And I'm on the motherfucking Riverside video shit. Expect more from what? She show up every day. She speaking of topics that was relevant to her. Matter of fact, nigga, in our DM right now, it's me telling this nigga, hey, you need to do more female topics. Who do I got in mind for that? So Kenya can have more to say. Hey. A couple days later, I hit him in the DM. I say, hey, Kenya be a great fit. He DM me back and say, oh, Joe Nate just said the same thing. Right? What's even crazy about it is, right, is later on, the shit happened with Bray. So now, I'm really looking at a nigga crazy, because Bray been doing this shit helping you since February. And you look over her for Kenya. You ain't had no interest in Kenya. But Bray been helping you like a motherfucker. They pretty much the same motherfucker. Loud, dramatic, crazy ass opinions. You know what I'm saying? You know, just hey, no shade. I'm gonna blade the grass to y'all palm tree like this. No shade. I'm just saying, y'all do what y'all do now. You know what I'm saying? But they pretty much the same person. They loud, very opinionated. You know what I'm saying? And so where your loyalty at? Bray been helping you. Bray been helping you since February. You pass her up to say Kenya. Matter of fact, and this my thing. This really weird because I started thinking. I was like, why Rashad ain't have no backbone now? But when I asked for I asked for my friend because he was looking for a female uh co-host for the pod. I asked for my dog. He said, I don't really know. Told me no then. All of these other conversations that he having with Joe Nay and what he indecisive. I'm like, damn, why? You was able to tell us no before. You was able to put You was able to put your foot down once before. Why not keep doing it? He tried to paint it like, no, nigga, you been doing this. No, the fuck I haven't. Nigga said verbatim, the last video we did on Riverside, you sent the topics. No, I didn't. Joe Nate sent a list of topics and told me and Kenya to pick. And we picked. You as a leader, this your shit. You weren't prepared. So then today, I see a clip, because mind you, this ain't no beef. I don't have no issue with Rashad. I don't dislike Rashad. It ain't no issue. But I can't sit by and let you try to assassinate somebody else's character on some whole shit.
I know that I could have been just as messy. I could have been just as whatever, because you think people wasn't asking me. I was just joking in the space the other day about somebody asking me what happened, and I've been keeping it P.
Yeah.
And you think that today I like this is just being for real. What you think I'm gonna do? You think I'm not that type of girl that you gonna open your pod and say there's two people and there's one person behind the scenes and you gonna wake it up and let's talk about it and then go and try to chop it up as if I had a character flaw? Nigga, you gotta play with something safe. Because what the unsafe thing to do is play with somebody that got receipts. And I will say what I've said. And like literally, Rashad had a problem with me because he got into a conversation with me over some shit. And he did this big one and said something weird. And because I said he dumb, he don't read in his household. He took offense to me saying he don't read. They don't read in his household. And the nigga took so much offense to that he got on his face and it said, that's enough of that. And I said, what you gonna do? That alone makes him think that we had an issue and he's been trying to get his get back ever since. And my thing is, it's like, fine. And what I did, because I'm like, all right, Rashad, I gave you my word. I'm a part of this. I'm going to fall back. And from that moment, I think if anybody would listen to that particular space, I did not go back and forth with Rashad from that day because I heard him behind the scenes and I pivoted. Cool. I'm not even really talented. I really shouldn't even be up here like that. You're right. But then you take that and you feel away and now your ego is bruised. Don't make me wake it up on what really could be going on because it don't make no sense as to why you're acting like this. And you haven't just acted like this with me. Like you have been doing this thing where that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to besmirch the nigga, but it's just the truth. You thought that was cute to do. That was not something you needed to do. And you know that. You're a clout demon ass, thirsty, want to be known, famous nigga. That podcast gonna fall faster than your mixtape career. I promise you. Because the way that you do, no, I'm telling you, because the way that you start is the way you will end.
Well,
All right, wake it up,
That
Janae.
determined a bit.
And you cannot. No, I'm dead ass. You cannot start out thinking that you're gonna gain leverage and stuff like that off being weird, and then gonna say, and it's not even like you alluded. You said my name.
Janae,
So what you expect me to do if you said my name? You might as well have tagged me.
I disagree with you.
I just wanted to come up because I didn't want to say anything. I did fall back privately too. I spoke to Jonah in the back. But with just like helping Rashad with building this, like even when me and Jonah wasn't cool, it was always I'm up for the plot as person. So if we're trying to build something, you need good speakers. I've always encouraged, like Jonah being a part of it. Even me and her not being cool, that's what she does. My only issue with the situation is that I stepped away from spaces. I don't like arguing with people. I'm a little chatter. I don't like all the back and forth. So when you reach out to me and you want me to help you, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do the Wednesdays and the Saturday spaces. But it was like, oh, I need you to do this. Like, I need you, right? But then like I heard Tin and Jonay said, it was a switch debate, like with them too in certain situations. Like, oh well, but it has to be done like this. And my thing is like, I don't like being micromanaged. I know how to run a fucking space. Like, and then how I run spaces are just a little bit different. But he wanted it how he wanted it down to the T. So I just decided to step back. And when I step back, then I just noticed like no communication, and then I'm getting kicked out of fucking spaces. I'm still waiting on an apology because I still thought that was weird, and I thought that honestly I was gonna get one. But then when I started seeing Jonay and Tia not a part of the podcast, I just figured I was never gonna get one. I did fuck with Rashad. I did believe in it, but I feel like as much he's doing fucking over the people that's supporting him, I can't support it. And before we fell out, one of my friends could tell you for the record, I like quality. I didn't support his podcast until I told him, buying the Patreon, until I told him it has to be something that I can pay for. It has to be, then he got better with the spaces. Okay, cool. I told him the same thing with the pod. Nigga, you got to come with it. You got to look nice. Once I saw that clip, saw the hair, saw that this looked like shit was being recorded from a microwave, I can't support that. You know? So um, we need a little bit more investment with that and less with the drama. So
You said you were friends with him? Is that right?
yeah, to your question, you was like, are we gonna have a conversation? I think I was the closest person to them out of the people in this group. So if I didn't get a conversation, child, they ain't getting a conversation.
Mhm.
100.
And why would you say he recorded it from the microwave? Listen, y'all, there's a
Hey,
lot.
recorded from the
There is a
microwave
lot
may be
going
Hey,
on
hot,
up in
listen.
but
here.
Okay, I fuck with quality. I fuck with people, especially you out here beefing with other niggas, and you, like Jonay said, doing the Patreon number based shit.
Podcast beef.
Oh, I'm
You
glad. Hold on,
can't be
Bray. I don't
next
mean.
to
I'm
me
sorry,
making
Bray.
me look bad.
Bray, hold
Okay,
on 1 second. 1 second. I'm
the
sorry to
ops
cut you.
is putting out pods, and it's looking great.
Hold on, Bray. I'm sorry to cut you off. Well, not really, but
I
I
was about to
had
say
thought
no
about
the
this.
fuck he ain't.
I had thought about this earlier, and then I forgot. In that same Zoom call, the nigga say, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about giving the first episode for free." I tell the nigga, "I ain't no cheapo, nigga. You better pay me, nigga. What? Cause a nigga over there confusion movement with motion.
To be
You
clear,
do
no funds were received, right? No
you
funds.
no you
No.
doing
Not even
no
the
Mm-mm.
10%, the dollar.
no the nigga
Mm-mm.
no the
No,
nigga
not
think.
even $1,
Hold on,
Vicky.
listen. The nigga think just because I'm doing spaces every day and it's 60 to 100 people in this bitch every day that I'm doing something. You doing something for spaces. That ain't got shit to do with this motherfucking pod. You
At
want to get
all.
a first episode for free thinking this some marketing scheme? Nigga, go meet. Nigga, marketing for dummies is $9.99 on Amazon.
I thought that, regardless of who's doing what, when my niggas supporting, and maybe that's just me, right? If my niggas doing something, I'm supporting it.
Who the fuck
And I'm
friend?
never
You
gonna
gotta
come.
support it.
Overstood.
I'm never gonna
Overstood.
come
Who the
to the net
friend?
and say I ain't supporting your shit because of X,
Right.
Y, and Z. This my nigga.
Let me tell y'all this. It would have also been different had y'all not tried to be on Twitter Monday through Saturday. And then we would hear something like different on the pod.
That's what we were telling him,
Vicky,
Vicky.
Vicky, no, there ain't gonna be nothing for me to look forward to on something that you want me to pay $10 for. I
Y'all
said
done
I'm not
covered
going
every
to pay
topic that
$10 for
dropped
I was
that.
as
just
soon
about
as
to
it
say.
dropped.
I was
Hot off
just
the
Exactly,
about to
press.
say.
Vicky.
Talk
God,
about.
I didn't even get to get the
Exactly,
thought out
Vicky.
yet.
Exactly, Vicky. That's what I was trying to say, and it came from a good place. And that's another reason why I feel like he's so flawed and he has terrible character because he knows for damn sure all of the shit that I had did up until that point for him and that pod shit was in good faith. It was to help him, to support him, to give him game, to
It
be a
don't like that,
supporter
man.
to what he
It's
wanted
not
to
like we
do.
want
That's
to be
some
gave
bullshit.
up, man.
The
Kenya
draw
has
because she's going to say
natural
something.
talent.
She's gonna say
Period. And I
something.
fucked with that. That's my only thing. Like I
Yeah.
said, I ain't got no problem with King. I ain't got no
She
problem with you,
irritate the
girl.
fuck out
You
of
know I
me,
fuck
but
with you.
she
But
definitely has that
I
talent.
don't like how that clipped you up. You looked a little iffy with there, and you know the truth. So to me, that's the only thing I don't like. But anything else, I fuck with you. You know the vibes. My point is, Rashad on some bullshit, and it's a clout demon ass nigga like him is going to get exactly what he's asking for:
Well, this is
attention. Because right
Talking
now
about
he's getting exactly
unfortunate.
attention. 200 and some people listening to him
Right.
while listening to us while 22 niggas is listening to him. You got the clout,
You
nigga.
got
Now
people don't even
what?
care for real.
I want to be clear. Ain't no issue. So don't make it an issue. I just didn't like how a nigga
Why
was
not?
moving. But because just don't make it an issue. Don't like we
sounding like
like
TR.
like we beefing or it's an issue or none of that shit. Like I thought bro was cool. I just didn't like how he was moving on the business side. And I told that nigga. The Ken don't let tell you that first Riverside video thing we did. I told that nigga straight up. I said, nigga, you got a week to get your shit together, or I won't be a part of this shit. That nigga did not think I was serious. A week later, the nigga was like, bring a topic. I said, what?
Yeah, it seemed like he was moving too fast and not having a plan. That's all. You should have just had a plan, had everything written down, had business
I,
together
I
I
think
first.
it
actually
was a
disagree
plan.
with you,
It's just
see that. I
egos
think he
in the
had a
way.
plan. I think he didn't have the moving parts to make the plan work.
I can see that too. I can see
For
that.
sure.
The
Joe Nay
funds.
was
They said the
Joe
funds were
Nay
never
was the
received.
moving part. Joe Nay was the moving part. Joe Nay had set me aside. I was like, hey, Tim, we use a space as practice. You know what I'm saying? You don't really go into your full thought on the topics that we looking for you to go your full thought on. So, hey, when I send you this, you need to research it instead of just going off the hip. That shit didn't come from Rashad.
Oh
When
yeah,
I said the
somebody.
plan, I was kind of
Yeah,
more
we
talking
not
about
gonna
like
walk
the
past about
business.
who funding it, so somebody gonna have to tell
I
us
was
that.
talking about more like the
Who
business
funded
Who
side.
what?
funded what?
The pod.
I sent that nigga $30 so he can give out free subscription.
Oh Lord Jesus.
$30
Yeah, I was like, here, bro,
$30.
use the
for a
$30 to send out
podcast?
free
Let me
free
go see how much
subscription.
it costs to start a podcast.
Who really behind the funding
Those
of
people.
whatever his
That's
whole
right, y'all.
shenanigans?
Oh
Look
no,
at
yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
Look at
no, yeah.
y'all.
Can I be honest with you? No, no,
Look
no.
at
It's
y'all.
okay. I love a good bring it back to the top. So yeah, yeah. What I was gonna say was not who funded. I was gonna, which is not my business to tell for real because it is other people that fuck with him. he's getting a lot of stuff for free is my point. He's not paying much of anything is my point. So I was gonna put names on it, and even though that is something I could do, but
Yeah,
that's a little too messy, and I do
Ain't no
have a
such thing as
little
Smart
messy
though.
character.
once you
If you
already
can
in the
get
even
bag.
stuff for free,
even
I mean,
even the clips that y'all seen with all three of us, like he doctored up them clips because the Riverside it records and uploads while you're recording, and it
Yeah.
makes its own clips with the words and everything. All he did was just make small edits. So
I
like
might have to
he
start a
need
podcast.
You know
I'm glad
me.
you
They
asked that
sleeping on it.
because it's so many people behind the scenes doing shit for free now that they got to get paid at some point. So how I'm looking at it as a nigga that's, you know what I'm saying? You approach me telling me
A
you gonna
nigga
pay
done
me.
fronted you the brick and you ain't want to pay.
You did what I'm saying? Like nigga,
Hey
these
man,
people need to get paid first
hey boy,
before
you
I can get
nigga
paid
front
these
you the
niggas.
brick and you don't pay, boy, you in trouble. I ain't gonna lie.
Come
It's
on,
not,
man.
that will create at least a problem.
Yeah, nigga got to send you a finger or a thumb or something.
So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at when a nigga tried me with the shit, like tried to be like, hey, yo, I need you to do more work. All of this shit going through my head, like, okay, this nigga want me to do more work. He got 16 other
On
problems on his hand.
consignment.
You know what I'm saying? And then all these other people, you know what I mean? Like,
Hell
all right,
no.
nah, bro, I'm straight, bro. I'm straight with you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel like there's much else for me to say about this. To me, just a forewarning, just leave me alone. Like I don't want to be doing too much because I genuinely don't feel like giving energy to Rashad or none of these other extra people with this bullshit. I think it was just unfortunate because you could have kept it P and you said my name. You said Ten's name. That don't make no sense to do that.
Yeah, that shit was
And
lame.
you thought I was gonna do what? Say nothing?
Like it'd be different. It'd be different if like I was on here like making tweet like subbing the nigga, you know what I'm saying, talking shit. Like I ain't do none of that shit, nigga. I was gonna come around still speaking his face and all that shit when I felt like it, nigga. It wasn't no issue. I wish that nigga nothing but success, man. Whatever the fuck he got going on, just goddamn nigga be a man.